Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is the mid-April 2022 reading for the zodiac sign of Leo. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you any intuitive messages that I receive, but also provide you the meaning of the tarot card. I do recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on. Totally fine if you find this video a few days before the middle of the month, a few days after the middle of the month. You'll find it when you need it, Leo. And if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. When you subscribe, that helps me greatly. And additionally, when you subscribe, you'll be notified when I post new videos. With that being said, let's go and jump in and get started. In column number 1, we're going to take a look at what's wrapping up and coming to a close. So last few weeks or possibly month. Column number 2, we're going to take a look at any general what's going to happen through the end of April. We're going to do a money column, a love column, and in the 5th and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guides. With that being said, let's go and jump in. Oh, we're also going to do 3 yes or no questions, a healing crystal, and a healing note. But let's see what your summary card is. We have the card preservation. So likely you've been doing some preservation the last few weeks. This could be time, this could be energy. But let's see what messages we have coming through here. The first card that we have is the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is a card of waiting for results. This could also be a card of making travel plans. So some of you could have booked a vacation the last few weeks, but for the most part, I do feel like there's something that you have been waiting for with the Two of Wands energy there. The next card that we have is the Sun card. The Sun card is a card of material happiness, joyous outcomes, success. So I would venture to say that, Leo, the last few weeks have looked pretty good for you. Relatively positive, probably pretty happy, pretty joyous. Maybe there was something that was really successful for you recently. The next card that we have is the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles is a card of having to make a choice. It could be multitasking though, or weighing your options as well. So possibly a decision that was made. You might have been waiting to make this decision. Let's clarify though and see what other messages come through in this column. The first card we have is the King of Wands. The King of Wands is a very bold card. A very powerful card. It's also a card of charm and courage though. This is going to sound kind of strange maybe, but I feel like some of you are traveling to a new place, so it took courage for you to book these travel plans. Or maybe it's post-COVID, this is your first major trip post-COVID. But courage is a card or meaning that's sticking out pretty strongly there. As for waiting though, some of you could be waiting for a leadership job. The King of Wands is also very much so a leadership card or some sort of position of power. So again, waiting for that position of power, waiting for that leadership type role. The next card that we have is the Tower card. Interestingly enough, the Tower card is a card of unwanted change. It's something that happens that is beneficial for you, Leo, but it just didn't play out the way that you were hoping it would play out. So I would say there was something that changed and it wasn't exactly what you wanted it to be, but the outcome was really, really good, especially paired with the Sun card there. So it was almost better than you expected. The next card that we have is the High Priestess. The High Priestess is a card of trusting your intuition, trusting your gut, trusting yourself. If you haven't made this decision yet with this Two of Pentacles, do make sure that you're trusting your gut in this situation. Maybe on paper, option A looks better, but for some reason you feel drawn to option B. Do trust your intuition and trust your gut as you make that decision if you have not done so already. Now let's take a look at the next column, which is in general what's happening going through the remainder of April. We have the card Ready But Waiting. We did have some waiting potentially the last few weeks for you. There may be some more waiting coming as we go into the end of April, but let's see what messages we have here. The first card that we have is the King of Swords. The King of Swords is a very intentional card. It's very strategic. It's very long-term. So some of you could be doing like long-term planning, very future focused. We're going to clarify this message a little bit. It could also be like associated with this journey. So let's read this through. The next card that we have is the Chariot. The Chariot is like the vroom vroom card. It's the card of action, change, being on a journey. So I do feel like you're some way in a transition state or on a journey to this place of going to the right long-term thing for you. That didn't come out the best. I feel like some of you, again, are in this journey and you're moving towards something that is something you want to accomplish long term. So like maybe you're going back to school so you can get a degree to get a certain job. Or perhaps you have a health issue and now you're starting a workout program to help remediate this health issue. But I feel like you're on this journey that's going to give you whatever this long-term thing is that you want. Then at the bottom here we have the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is a card of loss, regret, grief, feeling unloved. It is a card of low feelings. If you look at this person, they're dressed in all black, their head is hanging low, and they're like almost grieving these 3 spilt cups that you see here. Some of you could have had an actual loss that you were grieving through, but this could be just like low feelings. We're going to clarify this. You could be feeling sad based on how long this thing is taking. Maybe like you started this workout journey and you're not seeing the results you were hoping for, or maybe you had to delay school by a semester. That could be where some of these low feelings are sourcing from as well. One other thing I want to point out with the Chariot, this could be a new vehicle for some of you. The Chariot card is like a car card. Some of you could be getting a new car, which is exciting. But let's take a look here and see what messages we have. The first card we have is the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is a very fast-paced lifestyle change. If you look at this card, this horse and rider are both moving quite quickly. So definitely things moving fast for you. I do feel like you're going to move towards this strategic long-term thing that you want sooner than anticipated. Again, you've been doing some waiting to this point, it feels. But this is a good card, especially if you've felt stagnant and you feel like you've been waiting for results or waiting for a step forward. That Knight of Swords is a good card to have. The next card that we have is the World card. The World card is a card of completion. It's completing a goal, completing a lesson. Could also be a travel card. We definitely did have some travel cards in the first column, but it's like the world is coming full circle. Which makes full sense because something is ending and you're on this new journey, you're taking a new step forward. But you had to get to the point where you decided it wasn't what you wanted anymore and you wanted to go on this Chariot type journey. So it makes total sense there. Then at the bottom here we have the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is a very self-sufficient card and a very honest card. I feel like, so knowing what we know now, perhaps with this journey you were like hoping to do it with somebody else. Maybe you had a co-signer for a car that didn't work out. Maybe you thought you were going to have a workout buddy. Again, maybe there was a delay in the semester of school. But it feels like this is a very you card. Like you were almost counting on somebody, Leo, that didn't come through for you in any aspect, any of those kind of scenarios. And that could be some of these low feelings that we're feeling. Honesty is also sticking out, but I'm not really sure how honesty is tying into the Five of Cups per se. But being honest going into the end of April is going to be important for you too. So if you're feeling a certain way, make sure you say it. If you're wanting something, make sure you're very clear on what you're wanting. Honest again is the sticking out there. But now let's move into our next column, which is anything related to money. So think job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments you have. Let's take a look here. The first card that we have is the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups is a card of celebrations first and foremost. There could be something you're celebrating related work or money or investments this month, or possibly business you run. This is also a card of friendship though and circle of support. Remember with that Queen of Swords being honest, you could be relying on like your coworkers or your boss a little bit more going into the end of April than you typically would. The next card that we have is the Hermit card. The Hermit card is about going within for clarity, making sure you're on your personal quest, living your personal truth. This light on the card is the light that's within you, Leo. I would encourage you to make sure that you are like feeling fulfilled from your job. Maybe this isn't the career you exactly want. Maybe that's what's prompting you to go back to school. But just make sure you're getting what you want and need out of your finances. The next card that we have is the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is a card of low feelings. It's nightmares, anxiety, grief. Some of you do have some money anxiety. We're going to see what card comes through clarifying for this, though, and take a look and see what other messages we can give here. We have the Two of Wands up first. We had the Two of Wands a little bit earlier in this reading. This is waiting for results, having to make a choice. This is a travel card again, too, so some of you could be traveling for work as well, Leo. But like, I feel like you've been waiting for this celebration or waiting for this win. So whatever this is that's going on, like maybe this is a really big project you've been working on for a long time. And that's what the waiting is. So this celebration feels delayed or a long time in the making. The next card that we have is the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is wishes coming true. It's material abundance. It's good health. Love the Nine of Cups in the money column because it's a really, really stellar money card. So for those of you that are worried about money, I wouldn't be so much. But let's talk about these two cards. Remember, I was saying with the Hermit is like making sure that you are getting what you want and that you are feeling fulfilled and that this is part of your personal journey and like that you're doing the right thing. Well, the Nine of Cups is saying that you can have whatever you want. This is wishes coming true. So if you aren't on the path that you want to be on, this is saying you can't be. So just keep that in mind, Leo, and check and adjust as needed there. Then at the bottom here, we have the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is a card of patience. We've heard patience a few times this go around. But this is a new job raise or some sort of money news. So for those of you that are having money worries, I would definitely say not to. Maybe you've been worried if you're going to get a job or get a promotion or get a pay raise. Really, really good money card. Love to see the Page of Pentacles in the money column because it's a really great money card. Again, new job, raise, some sort of money news coming into you. So hopefully those of you that are worried about money, you can put that to rest. Now on our next column, we're going to take a look at love. Anything related to love, think family, friends, relationships, children. Again, anything love related. The first card that we have is the Ten of Cups. Those of you who watched my readings before, you know that I love the Ten of Cups. It's my favorite card in the entire deck. It's like the card of everything. You see there's the full cups, the full rainbow, there's a happy couple, there's kids playing, the grass is green, there's running water, there's a house in the background. It's literally the card of everything. It's like total contentment, total love, total support. It's also very much so a family card. So I would say that this is like a really, really strong and wonderful love card to have. One of the best love cards you could possibly have in the love column. This is a great card if you're wanting to get into a relationship. This is a good indicator if you're in a relationship. Great indicator if you want to have children. If you're wanting to buy a house together, this is a good indicator. Really, really strong card. The next card that we have is the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is about going through a necessary transition. If you look at this card, it's a little gloomy. Everyone's facing away from us. Their heads are hanging down. There's a bunch of swords stuck in the boat. But the boat is heading forward heading in a forward positive direction. So in general, this is a really positive card. Again, it's going through that necessary transition. I don't know exactly what that necessary transition is for you, but I would say that most of you are in some sort of love transition stage. This could also be a card of relocating or moving. So you could be relocating, you could be moving in with somebody. Yeah. Then the next card that we have is the Ace of Wands. Anytime we have an ace card, it's a card of newness. The Ace of Wands specifically is like new project or new urge to create. Again, some of you could be wanting to create that family, create that house together. You could be creating a new relationship. But overall, a positive card too for a love column as well. But let's see what clarifying messages we have here. The first card we have is the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is a card of expansion. It makes total sense. I do definitely think that some of you are expanding your relationship, expanding your home together, expanding your family. I would say this is another good card for fertility if fertility is what you're hoping for, growing your family. This is also a card of teamwork and like partnership. So love to see that in the love column, because for those of you that want to be in a relationship or in a relationship, we want to have a really healthy relationship where we're having that teamwork type partnership with somebody. So another good love card there. We do have the Eight of Wands next. The Eight of Wands is a speedy card. It's action, it's quick change, it's news arriving. Whatever this transition is that you're going through, Leo, is going quite quickly. Maybe you're moving in together quickly. Maybe you found out that you're relocating for a job quickly. It is a very fast card is what I'm saying here. Whatever that transition is, it will be pretty fast. Then we have the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is a card, again, we had the Five of Cups earlier. This is like low feelings. This is loss, regret, grief, feeling abandoned. Some of you could be like, as you go into this new relationship, if you are going into a new relationship, it feels like you're like processing feelings. We did touch on this earlier too, that I think some of you could have had a loss. So this could have been like a family or friend or somebody you were in a relationship with having that loss. For those of you that did, I'm sorry for that. So again, some of those feelings. However, like that doesn't take away from the Ace of Wands type energy. It's still really positive. The new beginning is really good. But like as you go into a new relationship, for some of you, you could be feeling feelings from a past relationship as well. Now let's take a look at our fifth and final column, which is a message from our future self or spirit guide. So something to carry into the month of April with you. We have the card repetition. One way that we get better at things is by doing them repeatedly. But sometimes when I see the repetition card too, this could be like saying that you need to break the cycle. Like if you do the same thing every day all the time, you could burn out. So let's see where this message is taking us. The first card that we have is the Emperor. The Emperor is a card of respect, leadership. Leadership coming up again. Some of you, again, could be going into that leadership type role. But this is a very strategic card. When we think about the Emperor, we think long term. This could also be another card of fertility. Definitely a good fertility card for those of you hoping to expand your family. But this energy is feeling long term. The next card that we have is the Nine of Cups. We had the Nine of Cups earlier as well. The Nine of Cups is a card of wishes coming true. It's material abundance. It's good health. This is saying, again, whatever you want in the future, you can have. We talked about this earlier, too. If this isn't what you want, then you can just think about what you want. Then we have the Star card at the bottom. The Star card's a card of renewal, hope, inner clarity. Again, being clear on what you want is really important, which will renew your hope, renew your energies, and get to this long-term whatever you want. So reading this almost opposite order, this is like getting clear on what you want, refocusing your energies. This is saying whatever you want you can have. The Emperor is saying long-term, sure, you can have whatever you want. That's that long-term card. Let's clarify though and see what messages, we have there. First and foremost, we have the Justice card. The Justice card is a card of like cause and effect, win-win. So I would say that this is like cause and effect. It's like what you're doing now is going to pay off long term. So whatever thing that you're chipping away at working towards, Leo, this is saying this is the right thing. Keep doing it. It's going to have that cause and effect, win-win sort of feel for you. The next card that we have is the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is a very low card. If you look, it's gloomy. This person is laying down and they have all these swords stuck in them. It's kind of that painful rock bottom type energy. But again, if that's where you're at, the Nine of Cups is saying you don't need to be here and you can have whatever you want. So whatever situation you're in, you have the ability to change. Then we have the Nine of Wands at the bottom. The Nine of Wands is a card of setting boundaries, which makes sense because we were talking about the Star card. This is being really clear on what you want. And once you know what you want, you just stop accepting things that aren't good for you. You can focus and only ask for those good things. Overall, a really good reading though. At this time, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions. We're going to use the Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them really quick. But for question number 1, we have the 5 of clubs. This is number 33 card. That's going to be a yes. Question number 2 is the Jack of Spades. This is number 52 card. That's also a yes. And question number 3, we have the Queen of Hearts. This is the number 23 card. That's going to be yes too. So yes, yes, yes for you, Leo. If you watched our video earlier this month, we did pull a card from this Healing Stone stack. This is a crystal to keep with you through the month of April. The crystal you have this month is aquamarine. It helps with ease. It helps you with your clairs. It gives your life a new drive. Helps with that buoyancy, ease, and depth. And last but not least, we're going to pull a card from our Healing Notes deck. Let's see what your message says. One small positive thought in the morning can change your whole day. Thank you so much, Leo, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this video resonates with you. Again, when you subscribe, that helps me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post videos in the future. If you feel inclined, I did include my Venmo in the comments box as well. But thank you, Leo, and have a great rest of your April.